So this is my Polyfusion. Polyfusion were built by some Moog workers. They left Moog in the late 70s, and this is from, I think, 79 or something like that. And it was basically people who worked at Moog and thought they could build a better one. And I think they did. I'll show you how to make a fundamental patch on any modular system will be basically the same as this. These are the oscillators. I start with an oscillator. Let's take a sawtooth output from this oscillator, and I'll put it in the low-pass filter. Then the low-pass filter I'll put into a voltage-controlled amplifier over here. So the output always going to the input, and then the output of the amplifier can go to the mixer. This is one mixer, and that's the output to my mixing desk. There are various mixers, but for the minute this is basically a very simple patch. So here is the voltage controlled amplifier. I've turned it up because there's no voltage going into it, so if I keep that down I would have to apply a voltage for it to sound. The filter. Now obviously you can't really play it unless you attach a keyboard to it somehow, and also it's just droning on its own. So what I want to do is to close the amplifier and patch in an envelope generator to open the amplifier whenever I trigger the generator. So I take the output of the envelope generator and put it to the control input of the amplifier. Now if I trigger the envelope, it will make the oscillator sound. Now the gate input, what I can do is route it from the keyboard, so every time I touch any key it triggers the envelope. To do this I have the output, the gate output of the keyboard going to the gate input number 1, and I can just take gate input number 1 from here, and in theory now the problem is the keys aren't, the oscillator isn't responding to the voltage from the keyboard. So now I have to patch the keyboard into the frequency control of the oscillator. And the keyboard is coming into controller 1, which is here. There's one patch cable that's playing around with us somewhere. There we go. Now what would be nice would be for the filter to open automatically. So now I'm going to trigger the second envelope generator from the keyboard. Again, I can use gate number 1. And as we can see, it's being triggered. And now I'll patch the output of this envelope generator to the control input of the low-pass filter. That's just the basic patch, but you can go very experimental. There's all sorts of interesting modules in this system.